Hi, my name is Daniel Mandel, and I'm a life coach. Today, I'd like to talk about, quite frankly, a difficult subject, anger. So, wow, why is anger such a challenging emotion? Why is it so difficult to talk about it? I know for myself, it's because I have been really more than not a suppressor of emotions rather than an expressor. I realize that sometimes I have fears that anger is going to get out of control. Um, Another thing is, I really don't know anyone who's consistently really quite good at expressing anger without uh, a certain amount of damage or embarrassment. So there's a lot of reasons why anger can be a really tricky emotion to deal with. I remember as a young child, one of the ways that I would release intense anger when I was a very young child, maybe 8 or 9 years old, I would bite a pillow and scream into it at the same time. So psychologists would tell us that anger is a secondary emotion, that it arises out of a primary emotion such as fear or anxiety. And that gives us some information that's useful to understand the core of the situation and how it arises in us. Whenever we're mostly operating from fear or anxiety, we're less likely to be in a place where we can bring our best selves, where we can remain curious, where we can pull in the information that is necessary to make a situation successful and really satisfying. So in the process of exploring my own anger, I wanted to understand how I could even explore this. What are the dimensions of anger? How do I measure my own anger? What are the ways that I can look at anger that would be the most helpful to me? So yeah, I found that it was helpful to consider dimensions of anger along a spectrum or a scale. So I developed this workshop as a part of an independent course that I took in Scotland. And this was the culmination, or I guess you could say the graduate piece from this work. And what I discovered was that I had a lot of unexamined anger in my life, and that it hit me in different ways at different times, depending on the incident of anger itself. If there's one thing I want everyone to take away, it's to understand that we can do a better job of getting a better perspective on our own anger and learning more healthy and appropriate ways to express our anger. I think that we can all learn how anger impacts us. And when we don't express in our lives, particularly when we don't express anger, what are the unanticipated costs? How can a lack of expression also impact our lives, as well as the initial incident of anger itself? So what dimensions might give us some useful insights as we look into how we're impacted by anger and how we react when we do get angry? There are so many things that potentially can make me angry. I'm sure everyone who has driven a car on a freeway or even in residential streets has seen unexpected things happen when they're driving that can make you flare up in a moment of anger. That's really common. We've all heard of road rage. There are the little imperceptible aggravations and frustrations that might occur many, many times throughout the day that are also examples of things that make me angry. You could probably list several that happen throughout each week. So I think looking at anger and understanding it better is something that could significantly improve how we operate on a daily basis, and understanding how to react could really improve our ability to be resilient and recover. And in these times, being adaptable and resilient, I think, are going to be more important